So one of the things I started talking about was, which we don't pay enough attention to, as the mighty surveillance tool that it has become, which is gaming. So let's start
From
the early games, arcade games. I don't know if there was much detail in maybe some games, but it may be really hard to gauge what type of societal mentality, I don't know, or type of data. Let's look at it that way. What could you collect from arcades in the early days? I guess the demographics, what people are playing, what people spend their money on mostly. So whatever game got the most quarters, I imagine. Clearly pinball machines would entertain. By the time you get to Pac-Man, Galaga, Space Invaders, Pac-Man was the first video games I remember. Galaga, Centipede, later games like Phoenix, Scramble, I'm an OG, Defender, Joust, Dig Dug, Gauntlet, Rampage. These are games that are here. All the different Pac-Man versions. First Pac-Man, then eventually Miss Pac-Man with more challenging boards, whether you got. Then the third phase, or no, maybe fourth phase, Mortal Kombat games. You know, that era, Dungeons and Dragons. So the side-by-side fighter games. All you could really see was it was developing there, but then what was also developing very early on, starting with Atari, were home games. Now, home games, I think, were to surveil. First, you could tell by what people were playing, and it was always a game type, a shoot 'em game, a sports game, something like Pac-Man, you eat, dots, maze games. So Jungle Hunt, Indiana Jones was early, maze games. Zelda, Mario, maze games, figuring out puzzles. So this, I think, was the beginning of surveillance, because to figure out puzzles will give you a climate of how people think. But then how do you collect data? You can't really, I don't know. We weren't on the internet then. There was no internet access, so there was no network for this information to go across. The only thing that could have been happening in the pre-Nintendo days, before this thing went online, and the early PlayStation days, only do surveillance, I'm imagining, by what we would buy, what would be popular in the stores. So let's move to where we're on the internet. This is by Xbox times, and wasn't there? Surveillance would be going down at this point. Now we're on a network where information could be transmitted. Sony PlayStation has a network that you signed into. Xbox has a network that you signed into. There was trophies. There was ways that communicated your progress, what you were playing. So we clearly could see what was visible, that they were clocking and documenting the games you played, how long you played them, and your victories in them, how far you went. For instance, I seen the other day that MC Shan has finished 75% of GTA. He's looked up. I said, "Goddamn, nigga, what the fuck, son?" I had to text him, "Look, motherfucker, you ain't doing shit over there. All that car building, nigga. You must have spotted some time to get online and play, boy." And he'll be like, "Fuck you, Larry." And I probably got a message that says that already. Shan is quite coarse. But you're able to see this. Now, there was also another phenomenon which is even more interesting. It started on Facebook, these games. And the games were all based upon one of the first online games that really hit. And I think there was a physical arcade game of it called Bejeweled. Bejeweled was one of the first I remember. Tetris kind of too on Game Boy. Same concept, same puzzle concept. But Bejeweled used the 3-color system, which damn near 80% of the games, let me take that back. 65% of the games are just a matchup game. Match the 3 colors in some sort of context. And the criteria for now buying extra lives, extra treats that help the game go along, there's usually 4 treats. 1 treat gets rid of all the red on the board. Another treat is an explosion as what's in the vicinity. Another treat gets rid of a long line. You press it, then it rubs out that whole line. And another one just matches a missing color. So if you need a blue and your red is coming up, you can change it to a blue to make it match. But that is stuff that you buy or earn. So as long as you have to buy or earn, and they keep giving you lives that you have to wait for, the first test we can see is how patient you are as an individual. So if I've been playing these games online all my life, or the life of whatever, just because I buy X amount of shit, it'll tell me how patient if I was creating. Now, let's say what are they doing this for? They can create a database on my behavior based upon my gameplay. Do I play this game with strategy, or am I really fast? Do I think fast, or do I think slow when I play? Install this shit now. Am I impulsive? How do I strategize? How do I play? Then within the game, I'm playing one called Traffic now. Traffic something. And it's cars that you have to move out the way to either clear railroad, hit certain things for grass to come over an area, or hit certain things to remove snow from an area. It's the same thing. They just keep switching it off. You have to hit a certain area to move the fountain, blah, blah, the same old crap, but it's the same thing, just same 5 or 6 puzzles, just keep reordered in the same way, which means it's telling me certain ones I do better than others. Certain ones, when I see them, I'm like, oh, I'm more looking forward to that. I'm going to knock that out. Certain ones, that snow one, oh, fuck. Or that grass one, oh, fuck. So maybe they understand that some are harder, and they see how I rise, how I move to the occasion. I always cheat on that one because that symbolizes how I would act in this given scenario. How if I'm advanced in this area, it may characterize how I act in this scenario, coupled with other games. Remind you, you must sign in to Facebook or Google, and we know they both is already proven that they keep a database of your behavior. So what if they're chronicling how you play these games and your game characteristic to create a profile on you? One that they may never use or never need to use, but if they do have it because you played goddamn Candy Crush. 3-pair match, it will tell you everything you need to know about your strategy, how you think, how you act and react, or can possibly act and react based upon them giving you the scenarios through this puzzle, through this game. Same thing. Not only is it training, how numb would you be if you played a whole lifetime of Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty? Call of Duty is just a call for those who must go to war. If you need to go to war and then you have to actually kill a live person, but you could see in your scenario, you can't differentiate the two. If I play Grand Theft Auto, which I don't play well, It's a lot of me just running around doing shit in director's mode. I still get depressed because you're in this fucking world where you're just shooting people constantly in the face. And I started to notice, and I remember last time, oh, that's why I stopped playing that shit. Starts getting me fucking real anxiety. I can't even sleep at night. This shit has a real effect when you're working on that hard shit. And it also tells me there's a certain aspect of you emotionally that cannot tell the difference. So when you see crime and the ability and road rage and all the rest of it, even unrelated to cars, just the ability for people to lose their fucking mind. All you have to do is watch 1 to 2 episodes of ridiculousness, and that'll get you on the page. You got to understand that you've been shooting people in the face ever since you were a child. You know what I'm saying? This game was out before my son knew how to hold a controller. He's 27 now. He's been playing this shit forever. I've been watching him play this shit forever. Call of Duty forever. And it's really about headshots, player. Surveillance. This. Once that really happens, why you see all of these weaker white men so gun-ho about this shit. So mind controlled on this side. See, in New York, we wear fatigues. And I don't know anymore, but, this was happening 15 years ago. Fatigues were still a part of the game. And I had a shitload of them. And I wore them out here. Niggas, you were wearing for comfort. I would travel in the airport. Motherfuckers kept coming to me, thank you for your service, nigga. After a while, I started going, shit, nigga, you welcome, nigga, because I do a lot for you niggas in the human race, so you're welcome. But just the giving, the Conch Blanc, what is it, Conch Blanc? Mind control that's already put into them. If I was like trying to hustle some shit, I'd be sitting in the goddamn first class before you know it. It's me and that motherfucker. I just came and I was in Afghanistan. I got PST, son. Not to make fun of this fucking, shit that's happening. But you could get over because of the mind control here. This shit is a mind control game. So this whole occult shit is to try to get you off of the mind control. You can't get off the mind control sucking my dick. You're a panic out, you eat potato chip. Or anybody's dick. You got to listen to the words I'm telling you is about independent understanding of self. So you could only and have to rely on thyself. That's why I'm even telling you today, you can't even rely on the history that you even were told were yours. And Harriet Tubman, that ancestor. But if we want to be absolute, this is for the free thinkers. The niggas who are stuck, no. Harriet Tubman, she was great. She was wonderful. She did the damn thing. Shoot you in the face, you don't hurry up, nigga. If that's what you need to hear to make yourself feel like you exist and better about your existence, then that's what I just said. But those who are free thinkers, you need to question it. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. I'm saying I don't know. I've never seen her. I've seen only what I've been told. And let's be quite honest, you're being told by some motherfucking either idiots or monsters. But you don't have to stand on Harriet Tubman to exist, boy. You don't have to stand on Nat Turner to exist. You don't have to stand on any of them to exist. What exists in you will shine if you're your best existence. So if they did exist as an ancestor, they will shine through you by you just being a better you. But without you having to use whatever name they gave you to use for self-esteem. Because if there is a Harriet Tubman, then you have to acknowledge there at least had to be at least many others that we do not know the name of, that you do not use to stand up, but I guarantee you they are behind you if you are something worthy of standing behind. And that's my main goal. That's what I've always initiated and tried to promote in others. Be something that anyone would stand behind as a standalone entity. You don't need to stand on their backs. If you stand up straight, you will automatically be on their backs. And you don't need to have their names. This is not an ego thing. They raise you up because you came to do it, but only if you do it. If you keep holding on to what they told you to hold on, you get stuck in the loop of nothingness, even if that person did exist. That person is a part of a work. And if that person is truly a part of the work, their ego has nothing to do with it. It ain't got nothing to do with them. That's what they came to do. So though they should be honored and celebrated, but only if we didn't stand with them. Honor and celebrate those who came and stand right now. Honor and celebrate yourself.